Welcome back to your favorite podcast. The only podcast on Rihanna's internet about friendship. The Don't Cancel Us podcast.
Surprise.
Surprise. Before I introduce myself and the rest of the cast, I want our listeners and our viewers to know that we've been friends for a minute. And today we're talking about what to do with toxic friends. Ooh, ouch. I'm Yasmine Bedward, known as the traveling social media manager. I forget. What? I do live my life pretty freely, though, hopping from country to country while I work remotely. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Chari and Rachel. I'll let them introduce themselves. Hey.
What's up, guys? My name is Chari Caston. I am your mindful travel coach. I'm in school getting my master's in social work, and I'm a travel agent. So you put those together, you get a mindful travel coach.
All right. And I am Rachel. I work as an interior designer here in Atlanta.
Hey.
I also love creating safe spaces for women of color to debunk and to really get deep into conversations that are a bit more taboo. And together we are the Don't Cancel Us podcast. I'm sorry.
What's going on? Hello.
I
Tune in. Join our Patreon for our OnlyFans exclusives.
Send us some money.
Hello. So we've talked about this. We've talked about this on season 1 before about, breaking up with friends or toxic friends. But I really think for season 2, we need to come with a little bit, some hard hitting information. Let's get into the details. Okay. We're spilling tea all episode.
I love the shoulder.
Yes. Cause that's what I had to do to some of my toxic friends. I just had to shake them off. Okay.
I don't know. What is the definition of that? Like, get specific in what you mean on like.
Listen, I try not to have any toxicity in my life, okay? I don't have time for any of it. If you bring my vibration down, if you change...
That's automatically toxic.
You are cut off.
Wow.
You're cut off. Like an umbilical cord of a newborn baby.
So you're saying if somebody's like messing with your vibes, messing with your energy, they're toxic.
Okay, let me not say that because... Jesus saves. I think what I mean by that is, you just, you're just maybe not for me, maybe you're not healthy for me, but, I feel like I'm a pretty positive person. And if we don't vibe, that's like, I'm actually okay, but I think I don't want to label someone as toxic because that might be a little bit aggressive, but I'll tell you, like, if I'm from Southside Jamaica, Queens, and if we don't get, if we don't vibe, then we don't vibe. I'm also not pressed because I have so many like amazing friends and beautiful people in my life. Like, girl, if you do me wrong, that's you are gonna miss me. So I feel like I don't give people. I think I have the privilege of not giving people too much of my energy because I know that at the end of the day, I still have people behind me that are going to ride for me at midnight.
But what has been your experience with a toxic person? Give me stories without names.
So I had toxic friends. I've had 2 scenarios that like really stand out to me in particular. It's funny because these stories, as soon as I start to tell them, y'all gonna know who it is, or the people gonna know who it is.
Well, I hope they like, subscribe, and comment below.
Hello, make sure you join our Patreon, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. So my issue with my one toxic friend, it's really intuition. Like when I met them, I felt it immediately. Like I don't really know what my spirit don't take them. You know how your grandma used to say, my spirit just don't take them. And I've had that feeling when I met both of these people.
Okay.
And then I still am just like, well, they didn't do anything to me. Mm-hmm. So, I can't really label them as toxic or unhealthy or not for me. So let me just, let's just give it some time. Let's get to know each other. Let's And at the end, they ended up just falling off. Yeah. But one thing this girl used to do is
hold on. If you are not visually seeing what's happening, Yasmine's hand just extended out. The fingers and hands are curved.
Signs up.
And she throwing them signs up. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
I noticed that I had a friend who would show up whenever she had a breakup. or like whenever she would be like down with her man who we knew was cheating on her. Like another mutual friend of ours found her man on a dating app. So it's like, we know he cheats already. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know he's already not good for you. This is just one example. He's also like done other terrible things. And this was just like, okay. And I noticed like a pattern of her showing up when she would be sad or like lonely or broken up with. Usually it was after a fresh breakup, which it was just like, you know, the same routine over and over again. I had a kit ready at this point. Like, here she comes.
But you mean like the breakup kid? Or
yeah,
the
like,
toxic,
you know, the tissue and the ice cream, your favorite show, me running your bath.
I really can't believe that's a real thing. I don't
like
have
people get
a kit.
like,
Yeah, like if
You don't think you do,
the whole
but you
process.
what do you mean?
I think all I probably need, maybe my bed. Like the process of someone needing like
Comfort.
my favorite show. I need my ice cream.
you don't
I'm
really-
like, I'll just sleep it off.
You also
and I'll
don't really
talk.
realize what it is. It's like things that bring you comfort. So it could just be like cuddling up in bed or talking to a friend or whatever. So I noticed that she would pull up every time. And then it was also like she would want to spend the night every time. And that would be heavy for me because I'm like, girl, I can't carry this burden through the night. Like, we have to let
say
this
that?
go at some point. I never got a chance to say that to her because she was a toxic friend, so she had to go for other reasons. There were other things building up. But when I think about our friendship overall and like why we couldn't make it, I'm like, you were always like a little weird. And from the beginning, I knew. What about
that
y'all?
intuition is heavy.
You know every time when you doing something you're not supposed to be doing.
Right.
I feel like we know every time, but again, it wasn't, you know, she ain't doing nothing to me. It's all
Right, excuses.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I always like to give grace. And usually when I meet someone, I do go off of spirit and how I feel like, okay, my spirit feels right with them. I'm going to move forward because I'm going to give them the chance to, you know, show up in their way.
Right.
I have been burnt.
Ooh,
Hello.
burnt.
Talk
yeah.
about it.
I've been
By
burnt.
CD. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No, tell me more. Tell me more.
No, but I have been burnt because once I'm a type of person, once you start showing up a certain way and being intentional about being my friend, I will naturally do the same plus more. I'm going to challenge myself to show up. I'm going to say, okay, this person is, as the moment someone shows up for me, I'm like, oh, they for real. Now,
You mean like physically showing up, or what is that?
showing up in multiple ways, like they're letting themselves be known that they're your friend. Like, and sometimes you don't expect it, but then you're like, oh wow, and then you're like, okay, what you gonna do?
Okay.
That's how I feel. And so then I have.
Oh, wait. So you're saying like you like once they start showing up as your friend, you're like, should I like side eye them a little bit?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
I have some skepticism, but I still am like, all right, so far you have no reason to feel away.
Yeah.
So just be a friend.
Right.
But, you know, in those times is when I've been burned because I'm so excited for what they showed me that now you saying I stole from you. And I'm like,
Ooh.
Okay, what do you
Wow.
mean by that? Now, you have talked about this in a previous episode.
I have.
To
It's
kind of give the readers
We gotta
like
unpack
a
this.
little backstory. And I am kind of curious because I didn't communicate this to my toxic friend, but I'm curious about you guys. When you feel like a toxic friend is showing signs of toxic behavior, have y'all ever communicated it to them?
No.
I have before.
I'm gonna confidently say no.
I have
on business.
before, but I didn't call it toxic.
Oh,
You're right.
okay.
I just let them know in that moment that they were overwhelming me with.
This is the same person, or this is like?
It's a different person.
Okay.
But I let them know that I was being overwhelmed with, you know, their actions, their language with me, their tone. I was overwhelmed.
Like in
And-
a text message, you did all that.
No, I said it with words.
Like on the phone, you got fed up one time. Or
Yeah,
was
it just
an
came
event?
out.
Oh,
I didn't even plan it.
Oh,
I was just like, whoa. I had like
Let
word
me
vomit.
let me call her up.
I know the scenario.
No, we were talking, and then things got off, and I just like said what I had to say, and then I realized.
Well, now that we're here,
and then I realized,
your mother's
wait,
brother's uncle. Yeah, I remember that.
and I just went too far. I felt like I went too far. I felt like I tore her down, and I was like, whoa, this is not how I wanted it to.
That's really hard to say because it's like,
did I lie? I feel
hard.
like you set me up, and I'm trying to catch her eye in this context.
But did you lie?
I don't
know because
I never lie.
We find just like that intuitive thing.
I never lie.
That intuitive thing when we know better, but we still don't do better. And it's kind of like, well, they didn't do anything to me, or they caught me off guard.
Excuses.
Right. It's like, is what you said, was it true? And just maybe you felt bad, and that's why the conversation had to happen that way. I'm just genuinely curious.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't lie. I think it's important. I'm learning that it's important on how you portray and convey messages to people.
Exactly.
And you don't want, if your goal is not to tear them down, then your words shouldn't do it. But when you fed up, things that
fly out.
Okay, so just to like kind of like wrap it up, I'm gonna try to summarize here. Yasmine had a friend who was showing up only when she had a breakup or a riffraff in her relationship, and you were there for her.
I was.
And you didn't get an opportunity to kind of like tell her that those things were toxic, because the overall friendship, other things start to show up as well.
Yes. She crossed the line. She was inappropriate.
Okay. And then you guys are not friends right now.
I don't know her.
You don't know her. Okay. That's
don't know each
interesting,
other.
because we should talk about how that ended. And then Rachel,
We don't know each other.
you're saying you had a few friends that it kind of built up where you were either one on the phone with them, things started probably getting triggering, and then you just let them have it without even like packaging what you're saying.
Or just fully lying on me, saying that I stole from them.
Well,
or
yeah.
So different situations,
right?
But yeah,
multiple situations, and you recognize the toxicity. Yes.
Underline
that.
Yes, 100%. And so I was like, with the stealing friend, I was like, I'm out of here. Did
you cut her off?
Yeah, I guess I did.
Was that the only thing she did?
Yes.
Oh,
it was the main thing. It was like, you said I stole from you, and I have never
crossed the line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There were no signs in the beginning of like, she might be weird.
Now, signs is, I guess it was that whole thing with, she's never done anything to me type situation.
Yeah.
Excusing it.
Yeah. Like
every time.
This friend would always say things about having money and not needing this and not needing that. And I never cared for it because I never asked you for nothing. So when you have, how you have some friends who, or people who will make comments as if they want you to know they're good on money. So that's never the case with them. But then the moment you get a chance, you said I stole from you.
Now this is totally making sense, because she kind of used that character trait as like, this is her superpower. But then all of a sudden she like threw it in your face that like you took from her. Yeah.
She literally was like, I stole from her. And I was like, I've never asked of anything. I don't even have a penny from you. So this is crazy. And I didn't have the conversation. I just was like I was so shocked by those words that I literally went into a shell and just disappeared. And I was like, I can't talk to you ever again. Because there's nothing for us to say. If you think I am a thief, we have nothing.
We're done.
There's
that's a
nothing.
boundary. It's crossed.
It's done.
And that's considered toxic for you.
That was beyond.
I feel like for me, I'm
because I'm not sure if she was expecting something out of that.
Like an apology or something.
No, but maybe it was like a trigger for like she wanted me to, I don't know, beg for the friendship in a certain way, or I don't know what people need, But for me, peace is important, and that was whoa. You think I stole from
like
you?
your peace, like your peace of mind.
Exactly.
Yes.
Have y'all had people or anyone like you introduce a friend to another friend, and then later that friend, one of your friends says, "I think this friend is jealous of you."
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Speak on it, Chari. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Well, not that topic, but I'm the type of person where I live through people's experience, so I don't necessarily have to experience what that can look like. I have 11 sisters, a lot of female energy, a lot of things that I've seen that for me was like boundaries of like, okay, I don't need to experience my friend sleeping with my husband. I don't need to experience like a friend coming to me. Sorry. Not to say that happened in my family.
Husband.
It's okay.
I don't need
trying to see what, go ahead.
experience those things for me to feel that way. But in one specific friend group, and I think we talked about this season 1, is like when people have an expectation and they don't meet their own expectation of what that looks like. So you showing up, you have an expectation of what a friend looks like, and you're not communicating what that looks like. And maybe I was in your books considered toxic, but you never communicated that to me. So I'm keep doing this thing that is a trigger to you that is maybe toxic to you, and you're not being the friend to me to be like, hey, I just want to let you know like that is bothering me, or can we work on that? That kind of is what is toxic to me, is like, if we're friends, we're friends, right? If we're friends, you want me to be better. If we're friends, you at least have that initial conversation. And if I don't receive that initial conversation, then it's my responsibility. But if you're not going to be willing to have that initial conversation with me,
and you're just going to be mad and have your own thoughts.
And have your own thoughts, I think that's a toxic trait of your own. I think you need to handle that. And I think it is important for me also to take responsibility. Like if I was being toxic to someone, like, okay, cool, I can take responsibility. Not excusing my behavior, but that's why I don't have a lot of friends. Is
Oh my God. But speaking of not having a lot of friends, have you had a friend that you had to get rid of because of like them showing toxic behaviors?
And I don't want to bring the zodiacs in this. But I can cut you off real quick.
Hello.
It's just really easy for me to like detach. And I think the field of work that I do, like seeing clients all the time and dealing with other people's problems daily, hourly, it's like, you don't know what a problem is, baby. Like everything is not a conversation. Everything is not like the end of the world. So if we not gelling,
it's okay.
you a follower. 31K of mine. You know what I mean? Like you just a follower.
Producer.
And I don't know if that's good or bad. I want to be better, but I also feel like I don't have to please. I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I don't have to please anybody, and I don't want to receive.
Facts.
And also, I'm a part of a sorority, and there was a lot of us, and it was just like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to throw up. I can easily.
I get it. It's the Sexy Ray song.
Yeah. Good one. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
I can easily put people in containers in my head. The file.
Yeah.
And then the file can be an error file, and click it out. You out of my life.
What you're saying is speaking to me deeply because my cutoff game is strong. My same toxic friend who I told her, the thing about me is I'm going to tell you to your face what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to look you in the eyes and I'm going to do it. And I told her I could act like I never knew you before. And she said, show me how you would ignore me.
She said that to you?
She asked me to show her.
Did you open the door?
That's
and
why
let
we're
her
not
out?
friends. She's been weird. I'm trying to tell you. And I did. And she felt dumb. Like I literally, it says it, Helen Keller. I have never.
Not Helen Keller.
Have never. I don't even know what's happening.
I'm glad you didn't use my guy Stevie.
Yeah. Well, Helen was, she couldn't hear or see nothing.
Right, at least.
I never felt this bitch before in my life. I don't know who that is. And I think because my cutoff game is also strong.
Yeah.
I can easily, but it also goes back to, I hate to bring relationships back into it, but also like keeping up with exes and people who have done me wrong.
Yeah.
Once you're out the game, you're out the game. You can't ever play with me
Put me
ever
in a game,
again.
coach.
I feel sorry for you. Look at your outfit.
So they're look at your outfit. I have to stop on that one. Wow.
She always gonna bring it back to that.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, since I guess I am the emotional zodiac.
We don't have to go there. We don't have to generalize. We don't have
They
to.
try to say I'm the astrologist, but it's really them.
No, because it's a good reference point for a lot of people.
It is. And as a Cancer, for me, I don't care to cut people off.
We talked about this at the bar.
Yeah, I like to keep these connections. I appreciate them. I find a way to, live without them. But for me, living without them doesn't mean they have to be blocked, and I don't want to.
Nobody's blocked.
I don't
Go
know
too
what
far.
other way to live
Nobody's
without you not being there. But I get your vibe and your aesthetic.
Yeah.
I think I'm just like a mixture of like Helen Keller and Stevie and a little bit of myself.
She double blind.
Because look, I'm not
glasses
gonna
are-
ignore you. I'm gonna if I see you in a space, I'm going to say hi. I'm not gonna give you a hug. Hey, what's up? I see you see me. What's up?
I've never seen that woman before in my life.
But
Okay, Kiki.
I'm also not going to text you. I'm not going to I'm not gonna
have your
block
number.
you either. You delete
I don't
the
have
number?
space in my phone for none of this behavior.
Okay, I feel you.
That's fair.
None of it.
That's fair.
But that's also just me.
Yeah. I mean, speaking on the whole jealous friends,
I have to adjust.
for me, when I've heard someone say, hey, I think this friend might be jealous of you,
Yeah.
I didn't know how to take it in. I was like, okay, maybe.
Wait. So I gotta just replay back that. What? So you're saying like you and a friend was hanging out with another. Your
I
friend.
introduced, my friend to another one of my friends.
So we're hanging out, and somebody is like, "Hey,
No, after it's done with.
no. We're hanging. So me, all three of us is hanging out, and then we're with somebody named Timmy.
Yes.
And Timmy, we're having a good time. We had dinner.
Timmy's
whatever.
my friend, and
Timmy's
y'all are
your
meeting
friend.
Timmy for the first time.
We leave, and
Yes.
Timmy's like,
Oh, she's jealous of you. She wish she was you. Yeah.
"What did you say?"
That.
Are y'all still friends?
We're still friends.
All three of y'all. In the example?
Well, Timmy, it was a fourth person.
So you and Timmy are still friends, and
Timmy
then the
and I are
person
still
that
friends.
Timmy is like suggesting that is jealous.
friends.
You're still friends.
Still friends.
Hey,
Still friends.
Never had that.
Still friends. Yeah. And it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I think this person appreciates me, but Timmy just cut straight to the chase and was like, yeah, honey.
That's what that is.
Uh-huh.
Do you believe Timmy, or is that an idea that was just plotted in your head?
I think I just kept it in the back of my head for when I have to be like, Timmy, you were right.
The red table talk.
Yes. So I think it's just one of those things where I have it and I haven't forgotten. And if it shows up. And
I feel like that's unfair.
If it shows up, it's what am I supposed to say? Bitch, are you jealous of me?
No, I think you can. I don't know what you said to Timmy, but you can probably be like, you know what, Timmy? Like you said, you could keep your eye out. I'm gonna keep my eye out.
What do you do if someone's jealous of you? That's like a genuine friend. Like, what do you do?
Oh, were they a genuine friend?
Yeah, it sounds
So
like
yeah.
Oh.
To me,
I
so
think it's worth a
far-
conversation, and I think that this is what I'm talking about. Is like
conversation.
What did she say?
It's worth a conversation.
Girl, how
I
many
think
conversations have you had?
a lot hourly. So many people
Not hourly, bye.
sit on my couch. I think it's worth the conversation if you truly believe what Timmy is saying.
What if truly believe? I don't know if I truly believe
doesn't.
it.
Only Timmy does, right?
Right. That's why
Yeah.
I said it's
She don't
unfair.
feel that way about her friend. She
Yeah.
don't feel like we are jealous of her in this example.
Right.
But only Timmy does.
Only Timmy does.
So
I'm just
therefore,
keeping
it's
it.
not really worth the conversation from Rachel if she
Yeah.
don't feel like it.
Facts. That is
I'm
true.
just
That is
keeping
true.
it- yeah.
That is true.
I'm
It's
keeping
not
it-
even worth like.
Yeah, I don't feel that.
Flirting and
I think
fighting.
you tripping, whatever.
I don't think I don't think Timmy's tripping. I'm saving it, not to throw it back in any way, but
Right.
it's making me be more aware and to
So you
be
do-
intentional about my space and
That's why I
what
feel
happens.
like it's unfair.
But do you think she's jealous though?
No, because I think at the end of the day, when you are meeting people and you're having certain encounters, you have to protect yourself.
Absolutely.
In any
Do
capacity.
you have a slight inkling that they might be jealous of you?
Inspired.
That was a politically correct answer.
Yeah,
Speaking of
I
politically
think I
Okay.
inspire them.
Okay, speaking of inspiration, let's leave our listeners with something inspirational to take away from this episode. How do you set clear boundaries for friends or people who might be trying to infiltrate your life with some toxicity? For me, I let them cut themselves off. Usually they something
They set the boundary
they
themselves.
do it. They do it for
What?
themselves. Yeah.
So you're gonna be dragged because that's the thing that I'm talking about is like was
It
so
not being
unfair.
fair.
Yeah, like it's
no, meaning
I just had too many conversations that people just don't understand how their behavior is impacting other people, and people are not telling them.
No, this toxic person toxicked themselves out of my life. I'm telling you, when I tell you they created a scenario out of nothing, it's almost like toxic people. If you don't give them something to feed off of, they just make stuff up. Like, you're jealous of me, for example. And it's like, babes, I don't wear Fat Farm or any of what you got on.
It's the outfit.
They
Yeah,
gonna bring it back to the outfit.
I
'cause
don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Fat Farm is coming back.
Yeah,
Lit.
fat farm, baby fat, all of that.
Respectfully,
You know,
I-
apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, etc. I
Boots with the fur. Guys, I hope you're picking up on all these ad libs.
no, seriously, she created something and just reeled her way out of my life. So I feel like
So did you?
she broke it up.
I can't.
She broke up with me.
I'm working on boundaries.
I think it's worth the conversation to talk about what that looks like.
You know what? You keep mentioning a conversation, and
Conversation.
sometimes conversation just takes too much energy.
Well,
it
I'm
takes
saying on the
too much.
podcast. In this
Huh?
example, it's worth the conversation on the podcast to talk about how we cut them off because y'all.
Oh,
y'all-
that's what I
we're all
did.
cutting them off.
No, she
So-
cut herself off of. I'm telling you, let me tell you something. If you are a certain vibration of person, God will eradicate people up out of your
God,
life.
I hope
You
that we
don't
have some.
You don't have to fight, okay?
Please play the chords
It
for her. Hallelujah.
Because I'm serious. So that's how it happens with me. I am that girl. I am one of one.
Number one.
Okay. I am
what-
a child
what
of
he
the
said.
Most High, and I don't forget that. And I think when people try to cross my boundary and they understand it's hot over here, then they just fall by the
It's
wayside.
too hot for them.
They just fall by
Hello?
the wayside.
Okay.
So before we wrap, that's my thing. I'm curious to know what you
Say
guys.
the question one more time for me.
Boundary.
How do you set boundaries
boundary,
for
okay.
people who try to infiltrate toxic?
I'm working on boundaries, honestly.
Okay.
I'm working on it. It's tough because it's hard to create a boundary after you've already let someone get in too close.
Ooh.
And you didn't start with the boundary. How you backtrack on that?
That is really good.
It is.
So for me, because I fight with, are you being kind to the person at the end of the day? Because
Facts.
sometimes the boundary, when you have to keep reiterating this boundary, it feels dickish. It feels like you're an asshole. And I'm still working on that. So yeah. Because I fight between, is this how you show God's love to them? You know, maybe they need you. Maybe they want more out of you that you can't give them. And I be tug of war, fighting with that.
It's difficult. Boundaries are hard.
Yeah, it takes a minute. I get there sometimes, but I be going through a whole process. It's not as abrupt for me, like it is for the angel over there. You know, I'm just like
I savage.
Working on it. What about
Right.
you, Chari? Before we go, close
boundary. I mean, what was the question again?
What's your boundary?
My boundary,
How do
yeah.
you set that up?
for toxic energy or people or friendships coming into your life?
It might be a conversation, or it just might be I'm slowly fading away. I'm trickling
Being less available.
I'm being less available. I'm probably not being as deep as you want me to be, and just I'm fading away.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Fading
asking
away.
you to ask me, are you okay? I got a plan, baby. You about to be out.
What if they feel you fading away?
We can. I love conversations. Let's have a conversation.
So if they tap in and are like, "Hey, I feel like our friendship is changing. You're not this, you're not that, and we used to be this.
Yeah.
You don't want this anymore. You got a plan. How are you respectfully saying, babes, got a plan?
So are you saying like I'm at the point where I'm done, or you're saying like I'm at the point where I notice their toxic behavior and
you're fading away?
I'm fading away,
and they're pulling you back in.
I think I'm gonna be honest. If they bring it up to me.
Heard.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. And what else you heard here is that we have more episodes on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed. We have more episodes on Spotify. And we have exclusive episodes and bonus clips. And bonus clips on our Patreon. So please make sure that you are subscribed. We use names in the Patreon episodes.
Hello.
So go ahead and
we might drop IG handles.
Okay.
You never know.
Wow.
You never know.
We joke about news and OnlyFans, but there are actual news on our Patreon. I promise. We didn't have time. We didn't have time to do a Don't Cancel Us. So you let us know in the comment section below what you are not being canceled for this episode. And we'll see you next time.
With your toxic friends.
Please
Stay moisturized.
send them this episode, honestly.
For real.